The next day I went to learn about space exploration at what has to be one of the most brilliantly designed outside museum spaces, with its focus point this 350-foot titanium rocket. But the star of the show inside the museum is, of course, this man. Yuri Gagarin was born in a small Russian village to a carpenter father and a milkmaid mother. Drafted into the Soviet Air Force aged 21, he was selected as one of the 20 outstanding pilots to man the first mission to space. After physical and psychological tests, Gagarin was chosen for his intellect and focus, and particularly noted for his modesty, which may be why he was also the first choice of the other candidates. On the 12th of April 1961, in Soviet Kazakhstan, Gagarin, aged 27, straps himself into the Vostok 1 spacecraft. And at the moment of liftoff, Gagarin famously shouts, Then, for the next 108 minutes, Vostok 1 makes a single orbit around the Earth, and Gagarin becomes the first person to truly see the planet, saying, "I see Earth, it is so beautiful." Now descending in just its re-entry capsule known as Little Ball, at 7 kilometers above Earth, Gagarin ejects himself out of the hatch and parachutes into a Russian field, whereupon he explains to the local farmer, "Don't be afraid, I am a Soviet citizen like you, who has descended from space, and I must find a telephone to call Moscow." Gagarin immediately becomes an international celebrity and a Soviet hero, with huge parades not seen in Russia since the victory celebrations of the Second World War. Unwilling to risk the life of the USSR's most popular ambassador, Gagarin is no longer scheduled for space missions. But tragically, 7 years later, in 1968, Gagarin dies in a military training flight, aged just 34. Today, every April the 12th, the date Gagarin rocketed into history, is celebrated as Cosmonautics Day in Russia, as International Day of Human Spaceflight by the United Nations, and as Yuri's Night by ordinary people from around the world who hold what they call a global space party. As one commentator famously summed up, his smile lit up the darkness of the Cold War. Yuri Gagarin, the first man in space, I salute you.
Fulfilling a childhood dream, Leonid Kadyanyuk got his name to the history books of Ukrainian astronautics. Ever since he was a boy in the village of Klishkovtsi in the Chernihiv region, Leonid wanted to fly. After finishing his studies at the Chernihiv Higher Military Aviation Academy, Kadyanyuk became a test pilot and learned to fly in over 50 types of aircraft. Step by step, he was approaching the conquest of the cosmos. Nadia Adamchuk-Chala, who worked with Leonid in a 1996 space shuttle program in the US, spoke of his working career.
He spent 20 years working to reach his goal. He prepared to be the captain of the bronze spaceship. He underwent a course of bioastronautics in Star City in Russia. But after the collapse of the Soviet Union, he, already prepared, was the best candidate for the flight in the framework of the American program.
On November 19, 1997, from Cape Canaveral, Florida, the space shuttle Columbia was launched into flight. Among the 6 crew members was Ukrainian astronaut Leonid Kadyanyuk. He became the first and only Ukrainian since independence who has traveled into outer space. It was Leonid who played the Ukrainian anthem in near-Earth orbit for the first time. He also got in touch with Ukrainian schoolchildren and answered questions on his research and experiments, and in doing so, offered a source of inspiration for many.
знаєте, що дійсно я працюю з брасикою рапою.
I'm now working with the plant Brassica rapa. I spend a lot of time studying it. I even sleep next to it. Here, in orbit, you can sleep anywhere, even on the wall. The joint American-Ukrainian mission STS-87, in which Leonid Kadeniuk participated, is known for its scientific experiments. The Ukrainian astronaut on board examined plants under conditions of weightlessness. Kadeniuk said that the main mission of a Ukrainian in space is to grow crops.
Leonid was a payload specialist. He had to carry out 11 experiments in spaceflight conditions. He fulfilled all the tasks and brought valuable material back to Earth. Scientists studied it for many years and wrote a number of papers on it. He made a great contribution to the development of bioastronautics.
After Leonid's flight into space, he was awarded with the title of Hero of Ukraine. He then served in the Ukrainian Air Force and was elected to the Ukrainian Parliament. Kadeniuk even became an author and wrote the book Mission Space, which describes the sensations of weightlessness and how life is perceived on Earth after spaceflight. Leonid Kadeniuk believed in Ukraine as a future leader in space travel.
Around the earth, another sunny day at birth. This is the place humanity calls home. The globe is slowly swirling on, and in the colors of the dawn, it seems so lonely and a bit withdrawn. The distant stars and galaxies that seem beyond reality are closer, but it's still as cold as ice. They faintly gleam like feeble sparks, and as we piercing through the dark, we see our homes each time we close our eyes. We neither hear the roaring of a spaceship, nor see this cold and dark abyss in dreams. We only dream of home, of love and friendship, and grass of green near babbling mountain streams. Satellites through outer space of fading lights, bombarded by meteorites, but fears won't challenge our ability to face this dead tranquility, enchanted by the music of the spheres. And somewhere down below I see the earth in its serenity, is wrapped in early colors of the dawn. And when our time is fully past, we will return one day at last, where Mother Earth is waiting for her sons. We neither hear the roaring of a spaceship, nor see this cold and dark abyss in dreams. We only dream of home, of love and friendship, and grass of green near babbling mountain streams. Of a spaceship, nor see this cold and dark abyss in dreams. We only dream of home, of love and friendship, and grass of green near babbling mountain streams.